Alright, today we're going to see if we can make these flippers stronger. So I went ahead and ordered a full flipper rebuild kit from Pinball Resource. And I talked to Steve at Pinball Resource, and he had mentioned that the original coil for this game was the 25-600. He said the 25-500 is a stronger coil. So I bought stronger coils and a flipper rebuild kit, and we're going to go through one by one on these components and see what makes the most difference. Let's get started. Alright, so I already went ahead and all I did so far was do the coil with the original flipper parts. So I haven't rebuilt the flippers yet. I just put a coil in. So I'm just checking right now the right and the left. This is 25-500. This is 25-600. So this is a slightly stronger coil. And I want to see right off the bat how much of a difference that makes without doing the rebuild. And then I'll rebuild this one and leave this one all original and see what kind of difference we can get here. Alright, so we got this side has the new coil and this side has the old coil. Let's see if we can notice a significant difference here. Let's see here. See if we can make that ramp. That's pretty weak. We should be able to shoot it up there pretty good, I think. So the new coil by itself is not super impressive. Yeah, that's not great. Is it any better? Maybe a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little stronger than this one, so maybe it did make a little bit of a difference, but I'm still not. That was pretty good. That's pretty weak. So I think the coil did make it a little bit better, but I'd like to see it be able to shoot up here pretty good. If I can make that shot. Yeah, I think we can do better. All right, so now I'm going to rebuild this, full rebuild on this one without touching this one, and then we're going to try this again and see what happens. So what's a full rebuild? That's a good question. What do we got in this kit here? So we got new linkages, and then this linkage has a little plastic thing here. This little round circle thing goes in here, so we got new linkages, and then we got new flipper bushings. All right, here we got linkages and bushings, and we got new coil stops. We got new springs, and we got new end of stroke switches, and this bag has like new screws and stuff. But all right, let's put it together. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and do this flipper rebuild. Screws. This kit comes with all this, which is pretty cool. New screws, new bushings, new linkages. This stop, it's been ground. They get mushroomed pretty bad, which can cause problems. So put the new one in. How all that feels. Oh yeah, I need to get I need Allen wrench to get the linkages off. There we go. The linkage. For those of you watching at home, this is a 1/8 this size Allen wrench to get the original linkage off. There we go. Oh, one more. There we go. I got the linkage. This together. Here's the. So these can get play in them. See that play? So that was slowing it down too. All right, what do we got now? So we're going to do the bushing. Bushing. So the bushing is what the flipper bat sits in. So that's what the bushing does. The bushing is certainly much cleaner than the old bushing. You have to assume that's going to have a little bit less resistance. Every little bit helps. I'm going to go ahead here and clean the flipper bat like this with some denatured alcohol on a paper towel. Try to get it as clean as I can before I put it back in there. Good. All right. All right, so it does look like we have to hammer these little pins in for this particular flipper. Let's see if we can get that started here. Get it started. The other one. All right, let's try to get this in here. There you go. And they're pretty good. Good enough. Next. Same thing. Alright, so we got that in there, and there's no play in here. Super tight. Super tight. We got to put these sleeve things on. I know exactly what that's called. I don't know exactly what these are called. Right on like that. That's what rides inside the sleeve. Like that. This one on. Cool. Just like that. And then these are the new stops. And these are the spring washers. So they help put a little bit of pressure on the coil. You put them on like that. Or you can put them on the other side of the coil. I don't know if it matters. Alright, let's put this thing back together. Alright, so you want to put it on so this nylon hits the end of stroke switch like that, because there's two of them. If you put the wrong one on, then that doesn't hit the switch, so it goes this way. We can finger tight these Allens for now. And we can kind of position the flipper a little bit where we want it. Good. Fine tune it later. Put this coil back on. Oh, let's put the. I'm going to go ahead and put the spring right here, which I think is good. There we go. We'll put the new stop on. I think it gives us these screws too. I think they're for right here. New screws. Nice. New screw for the stop. Right, we still have to do the end of stroke switch. Very important. But so far it's looking pretty good. End of stroke switch. We can unscrew the whole bracket to get to it a little easier. Maybe. So with the end of stroke switch, it doesn't matter if you reverse the wires, because it's just a switch that passes through. We're just going to take them both off here. Then we're going to put the new switch in. I forgot to put the spring in. Got to put the spring in. We'll do this first though. Take this out. Alright, I got the switch on. So it's ready to be screwed back in. we're going to want to resolder these wires back on there. When I solder wires to tabs like this, I like to get nice new solder on the wire, both wires, and then nice new solder on the tabs, and then touch them together as a 3-step process. I'm going to make sure the wire's taking the solder. I'm going to make sure the tab's taking the solder. You can touch them together. Looks like we're probably supposed to shorten that switch a little bit. Custom. It's a little too long right now. So if you look at the switch close up, there's holes in it, like this. So I think you're supposed to break it off at one of the holes. And in this case, it appears to be this hole. I'm going to go ahead and do that. There you go. That looks good. It was a little too long before, now it's just right. Alright, so we got to tighten the flipper down. Let's get the Allen wrench out. So we want to get the alignment just right. Crank it down. And I got to put the spring in because I forgot the spring earlier. No big deal. You don't want to go too crazy on these because they will break. And if you break the bolt off, then you're in trouble. It looks good though. Yeah, I'm happy. All right, let's put the spring back in. Spring. Dropping parts. All right. Spring. How do we get the spring? Looks like we have to take the plastic nylon off to get the spring in. Break it. There you go, note to self, you should put the spring on before you put this on. And then everything will be great. All right, there we go. Yeah, definitely the spring should be put on before the plunger gets installed in the game. Now we know. No big deal. Just a little bit of extra time. All right. Almost ready to, we gotta adjust the end of stroke switch. That looks good. Yeah, that's the way we want the spring. Perfect. We gotta put the coil stop back on. There it is. Brand new coil stop. Now, Pinball Resource, good place to buy these kits. That's where I like to buy them. All right, last thing we gotta do is adjust the end of stroke switch. You want it to be, you want it to have nice contact when the flipper's down, and you want it to break contact when the flipper's up. So we'll go ahead and do this way. That's good. All right, I'm happy with that. Gonna make sure it breaks contact. All right, if we forget anything, the flipper looks good. It's got the more, that's nice and tight. It's got the more powerful coil. It's got a whole rebuild. Let's start a game and play it and see how it feels compared to the one that we haven't touched yet. All right, let's see if it's any better. Well, it feels pretty snappy. Feels pretty good to me. Can't make the shot. There we go. All right. We made it to the top. Better. It's not extremely strong, but it's better than it was. I can make the shot. That's good. What about the other side? Yeah, it's a little slow. Feels a little weak. It's nice and strong straight on. Feels pretty good. A lot better. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. This one feels snappy. That. Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, it's snappier, we can tell. Noticeably snappier. Now let's rebuild this one. All right, now I'm gonna rebuild the flipper. The other flipper, I'm gonna do the rebuild before I do the new coil this time so I can see with a rebuilt flipper how much it matters with the new coil. So I do see there's a little indent here on this particular flipper. So the small part of the spring goes into this indent. It's a little hard to get it there. This is for Bally, question mark, through 74, 1274. So that's a lot of games. It's definitely Aztec. Amigo. It's, I don't know, Fireball. I don't know if Zipper Flipper uses the same parts. I don't know a lot about Zipper Flipper. I shouldn't say that, but Bow and Arrow, does that use this one? I don't know. A lot of games use this, and it's super hard to get this thing on. Maybe I should have put it on before I hammered the pin in. But whatever, we're going to get it. It's going to be fine. Can't give up. Springs suck. Get on there, spring. There we go, look at that. Slide it on. Alright, see how it's sitting in that little ledge there? And then we put this plastic thing back on. There we go, now it's ready. Alright, I'm going to do this flipper in fast forward because it's the same as the last one. So here we go, speedy. All right, now we got the game back together. We did the flipper rebuild, but we haven't done the new coil yet. So let's see how much of a difference that makes. It's a little faster. All right, I think it's definitely better, but I still feel like this one's a little stronger with the stronger coil. I feel like I can tell the difference. So let's put the new coil in, and then we'll be all done, and we can play it and see how it's going to feel. Here we go. All right, now we have both flippers fully rebuilt and two coils that were the upgraded 25-500 as opposed to the 25-600 or 650. The lower that number is, the more power the flipper has. The second number, which in this case was 28,000, I believe, that is the strength of the hold. So that's not going to make it flip really any stronger. So you really just care about the first set of numbers, 25-500. That's what we got. So let's play some pinball, see how it feels. Well, let's cheat first. That feels way better. Yeah, that's noticeably stronger. Yep, it feels a lot better. Look at that. That feels way better. Take some life into this game. Look at that. I feel a lot better about that. All right, I think that's about it. I think this game's flipping a lot good, a lot better. That adds a lot of life to this game because I think the flippers that came on this game originally might have been a little weak to begin with when they were brand new, and putting a little bit stronger coil in and doing the rebuild together really complement each other well. Because I did the coil and then the rebuild separately, and each added a little bit, but I think the combination of the two really makes this a fun game. Customer's going to be very happy. Just got to fix that little bug, but I got the flippers good. All right, that concludes this video. We replaced the AF25 600 coils with an AF25 500 coil. Again, the second number, that's the hold. So you know, the first winding flips the flipper, and then the second winding holds it up so you don't burn out the first winding. So the 28,000 doesn't matter too much, but the 25 500, I think that's the coil that you want to get for this game, which is not what the schematic says, but that made a big difference along with the full flipper rebuild kit. I think all in all, we're about $100 in parts. Well worth it for how much better this game plays. You know, the flippers they're kind of the heart of the game, you know, so it's worth making them flip good. And this game's gonna just be a lot more appealing with those stronger flippers in it. So yeah, that's the video for today. Flipping. We made it flip better, so we can keep flipping. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one.